Greetings, Salem Fire Department. Steve Stevens here, Scba Tech out of Station 7, here to talk about one of our most important pieces of PPE, the mask that were issued for our SCBAs. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we find commonly in these, but more importantly what I need you guys to do every time you put this mask on in the morning when you hook it up to your SCBA. Things you're going to inspect it for, when it needs to be cleaned, how to clean it, etc. One of the reasons we're doing this video is during recent mask rodeos we found a number of common problems and had to do a number of repairs that should have probably been caught a lot sooner. So that's why we're going to start doing this daily inspection of this equipment. Before we get into how to inspect your mask, we're going to talk about some of the names of the different parts that you're going to be looking at while you're doing the inspection. First and foremost, you see right here, this is called the center plate. And right around here, this is the RDV attachment point. There's probably a technical name for that, but that's all you need to know right now. That's where your RDV hooks up. The other parts are the visor clamp, which is this plastic ring that goes around the outside of the mask. And then when you flip it over, you have your nose cup, your HUD, your Nomex harness, and your mask D-ring. Okay, so now that we know the anatomy of our mask, here's what you need to do. When you get your mask out of your bag in the morning before you connect it to your SCBA, first thing you're going to want to look at is the RDV attachment point here. You're going to inspect these lugs, all right? And as you'll notice right here on this one, this is broken. So this would be a reason for you to take this mask out of service. So you inspect that. If they're all intact, then you go ahead and attach your RDV to your mask. The other parts you're going to look at, you want to kind of give the mask a gentle flex like this, and you're going to check the visor clamp, which is, you remember, is this plastic ring that goes around and holds the mask all together. You're going to inspect that for cracks or breaks or anything that's going to cause weakness in the mask or the integrity of it. Flip it over, make sure your Nomex harness is all intact, that the straps are all lined up the way they should be, and that it's going to be easy to don and wear comfortably. Make sure your D-ring's in place. Look inside, make sure your nose cup is good. And you're going to look for general cleanliness at the same time that you're doing this too. If it needs to be cleaned, we'll cover how to do that later. The things that you'll find when you're doing this inspection, for example, this visor clamp is cracked right here. When I did the inspection on this mask earlier today, I gave it a little flex, and because it was weak, it cracked all the way through and broke. So this is another good reason to take this mask out of service, which means taking it to Station 7 and exchanging it for a spare. We have some other examples over here of other masks. This is an extreme example of a visor clamp failure. Right here you can see that this is completely broken apart and separated. And then again on the lugs right there, that lug is missing part of it, so it won't secure tightly and give you a good seal. Some other extreme examples of center plate failures that we found during the mask rodeo when we were doing the maintenance on all your masks. Right here, this is a severe breakage in the center plate. You'll see that if you try to attach an RDV here, there's no way you get a decent seal. And on top of that, inside here is a little O-ring. That's another part that sometimes will, if there's a breakage here, the O-ring will come out and you won't ever get a seal. One more example of a center plate with a broken part. So the next step in taking care of your mask is keeping it clean. You want to make sure that you wash your mask at least once a month, and especially after every use, whether you've been in a fire or not. Just wearing it, you're putting germs in there that can grow. And then the other time you should wash it is before you send it to us out here at Station 7. We sometimes have to put our faces in these masks to function test them, and I'd prefer that they were clean. So washing your mask is really easy. First of all, every station has two buckets, a red and a green one. The red one is for soap. You put 2 to 3 drops of ivory soap in here and fill it up with warm water, get a nice suds going. And then your green bucket has clean water in it for rinsing. To wash your mask, you just simply dunk it in the red bucket, slosh it a few times, shake off the excess, and then dunk it in the green bucket to rinse it. Shake off the excess. Take it out, shake the water off really well, and then just give it a good towel dry. Be sure that when you wash your mask that you dry it as best you can with a towel, and then hang it in your turnout locker to dry at least overnight. Never put it back in your bag because the cloth parts here stay wet and will grow mold and mildew. Thank you for taking the time to watch this training video. I hope that it was helpful to you and you have a better understanding of the parts of your mask and what to look for when you're doing a daily inspection and how often you need to keep it clean. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the big one.